Hey, this is Ash from noshakespeare.org. So, hey, I wanted to tell you something since I'm here in the woods. When I was 16 or 17 years old, I can't remember, I was working at a job. I was working for the town, the public works department. It's kind of job where I painted lines and I put up street signs. And so I worked there for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I got kind of tired of it. And so one day I just walked off the job. The crew was out doing something. I came in late that day, and I just decided, what the hell? I don't want to work here anymore. So I had met this guy a while back. He was a landscaper, and I went to him. He was in a parking lot picking up his crew. It's where he would meet him in a central parking lot. And I went to the guy and I said, hey, I want a job, doing landscaping and doing, and he goes to me, he goes, look, I got enough people. And he goes, what I really need is I need somebody who can go up in a tree. And he goes, you see this guy right here? He's my best guy, but he won't go in a tree. None of these guys will go in a tree. I need somebody who will go in a tree. So I told this guy, I said, dude, you want somebody to go in a tree? I'll go in a tree. I'll go in a freaking tree. I don't care. I'll go in a tree. I'll go in a tree and cut anything you want. I'll cut it right off. I'll go in a tree. I don't like, and I was just, just totally selling myself and telling him all the other things that I did that made me qualified to get in a freaking tree and start cutting branches. And he was kind of hesitant. He's like, gee, I don't know. He goes, look, I've had so many people come and they get hired and then they won't go in a tree. They're scared to go in a tree. I go, dude, look, I'll go in a tree. I've done all these other things. I go in a tree. So the point of what I'm saying is the key to job success is having the confidence and selling yourself. Now, some jobs are easier. I mean, this job that I was, asking this landscaper for, it was a nonsense job. It was a summer job during my college years, or maybe it was high school. I guess it was high school. And so it was not a big deal. It wasn't like my life depended on it. And, but the point is that that's what's going to get you a job. It doesn't matter whether you have the skills or not, is selling yourself and having the confidence that you can solve their problem. I mean, this guy's problem was he needed someone to go in a tree and be able to cut branches off the trees. And he had a bunch of workers who just wanted to trim hedges because they were scared to go in a tree. I said I wasn't scared to go in a tree. So this is where it gets interesting. So on the first job, so after he hired me, went in the truck, we went to somebody's house, and he goes, okay. He goes, look, we got to go cut some branches. We got to cut some branches up there. So I'm gonna go up there first, and then I'm gonna cut some branches, and then I'll have you go up another tree and cut some branches. I said, yeah, no problem. And so while he's up there, I'm talking to one of his coworkers, or one of his employees who was about my age, and he goes, dude, man, you got balls. I would never go up there. I go, really? And he goes, yeah, it's freaking crazy. And so as we were talking, the guy up in the tree was sitting on the wrong side of the branch, and when he was sawing it off, and almost fell like 30 feet. And he was like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong side of the branch. I was like, what is this guy, a friggin' idiot? I mean, this guy's been doing this for God knows how long. I mean, this is the boss, and he sits on the wrong side of the branch cutting it off. And then later, we're talking, so like 10 minutes later, a huge branch, like probably 6 inches on diameter, falls right at our feet. And the guy I'm talking to, he goes, see, this is why I don't want to go in a tree. And I looked at him, I go, yeah, you're right. I don't want to go to a tree either. So we went to like somebody else's house, and then so I never said anything to my boss, and we were just relegated to cutting hedges and stuff for the remainder of the day. I think he kind of got a sense that maybe I wasn't too psyched to go in a tree after 2 near disasters I saw on the job. So needless to say, I didn't go back to that job, and I went back to my old job, and so everything was good. But I wanted to talk about selling yourself, because that's the most important thing. People think having a degree, a certificate, a diploma is so important. It isn't. I've taken, after college, I took all sorts of courses, um, to learn something. And I enjoyed learning it, and I'm glad I got the knowledge, but I was under the delusion that getting the certificate was going to get me somewhere. I'd put it on my resume, or I'd put it on my website. I would tell people, I got this certificate. They don't care. They're like, we don't care. What they cared about was that I had the knowledge, or that I could solve their problem, that I had the confidence I could solve their problem. And to be honest with you, I really didn't. I didn't have the confidence. I had the certificate, but I didn't really have the confidence. And that's what you need to do anything. So, don't spend 4 years learning stuff that they don't care. Spend 2 years gaining that confidence. And so, take a course of Dale Carnegie course, or Outward Bound. Those are the things that are going to build up your confidence and actually allow you to sell yourself. It's so important. It's more important than knowledge, because nobody's going to ask you about your actual knowledge. And they, for each interview, they may ask you about background, but just study up on it. But you got to have the confidence in yourself, and more than anything else, if you don't have the confidence in yourself, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. Certificates and diplomas are just a big, big, big distraction, because people put so much emphasis on getting those. The emphasis should be on selling yourself, and read books on selling yourself, read books on how to present yourself, read books on how to negotiate, read books on how to debate, read books on how to persuade people, writing persuasively, and also take courses on those, like actual courses that don't run forever, but maybe like 2-week seminars that you actually learn something, and just ignore the certificate. If they advertise, oh, you'll get a certificate, don't hold it against them, but don't act like it's something that you should get and you can put on your resume, because nobody cares. It's the knowledge that you get and the confidence that you'll get, having that knowledge.